Another 2-win weekend, though, for the Cavs, guys. They beat the Hornets on Friday, and then they beat the Bucks on national television last night. 14 straight wins. They've scored over 110 points in each of those 14 games. The last team to do that, the 1986 Boston Celtics.
They're the only other team, right?
I believe the only other team, yeah. So now just a second. It hadn't happened in 29 years, and this team is clicking on all cylinders. Last night, nobody scores more than 20 points. It looked like a high school box score, 17, 13, 15, 12, 11, 9, 9, 3, 5. But it didn't matter. They beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee. G, what was your big takeaway from the game last night?
The big takeaway from that game and a lot of other games is, the Cavs is at a point where they are becoming an historical team. And it's just not like by just saying they're historical. Like, sometimes you say stuff and you really don't even mean it. Like, oh my gosh, they're at a historical pace. But you don't never classically see that team as an all-time great team. The Cavs are doing stuff that I've seen the 97 Bulls do, the Warriors from, during that era, 14, 15. I've seen these, even the Mavericks one year, I think they won 70-some odd games. They're doing it in a way where even if Darius Garland has a bad shooting night, Donovan Mitchell had a bad shooting night, it's somebody different every single week. Like, last night it was Max Strus time to say, G. Bush, stop saying my name, G. Bush. Like, I'm Max Strus. I'm in the lineup. He leads the team. Hit a lot of big threes. He got hot. Evan Mobley, he's still doing his thing. Hunter one night. Sam Merrill comes in to give you some buckets off the bench. Jarret Allen is catching lobs. They're beating teams when their best players don't even have their best games. They're beating teams when they look sloppy for 3 quarters. They're beating teams that they're down 5 or 6 points within, with 5 or 6 minutes left to go, and you look up and the Cavs is winning by 13 or 14 with these Cavaliers. It's like I try to be like, man, you know what? They're developing some bad habits, but look, right now it don't even matter. It's messed up to say that. But in the regular season, playing against these other teams, they don't have any room for mess-ups. The Bucks was playing, they had 2 guys, right? They couldn't cover all the three-point shooters. They couldn't cover everybody off the bench. They just don't have enough. The Cavs is too deep. They're playing with too much confidence. And, to me, it's about time you start talking about this team as, an historical team, Dustin.
Yeah, I think we're starting to talk about them in terms of that, and man, this whole winning 70 games thing is going to become a reality real quick here in about a week.
Yep. Yeah,
we're going to be talking about it I think everyone's going to be talking about it really, really fast here. I watched a clip. I think I sent to you guys. Bill Simmons, who's the diehardest of diehard Boston Celtics fans, said the Cavs are effing scary.
Yeah, I saw that.
He thinks that the Cavs are.
Using Russillo?
Yeah, with Russillo, and they both were like, "Hey, the Cavs should be the favorite to win."
And they were both
the Eastern
adamant that
Conference.
Vegas right now has the odds.
Yes,
backwards.
has it wrong.
They have it wrong
because it's I think plus 150 for the Celtics, plus
minus
275 for the Cavaliers to win the East. And man, I'm kind of with those guys right now, and it does scare me a little bit to hear some of the people start to turn a little bit. To hear Stephen A. defend the Cavaliers more and more. It's like I kind of liked it when we were like
under the radar.
Under the radar.
It's always good.
But now you're starting to become the hunted.
Yeah,
they are. They are. I love that it was Myles Garrett's team against Jimmy Haslam's team.
Oh, yeah, right.
I literally was looking at this is kind of interesting. I like the discourse between Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick. Perk thought that Milwaukee was going to be able to do it, and Stephen A. was like, no, you're way off. And then at halftime, even though the lead had been whittled down to a closer game, Stephen A. was like, no, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong. Milwaukee is a 2-man team. Now, I think the addition of Kuzma has made them a lot better. I saw them doing some things last night that I hadn't seen them do in their last meeting. The problem is, did anyone score 20 for the Cavs last night?
No.
Okay, so you had a game with 8 contributors, maybe 9. I didn't look at the box score. Just watching it, it seemed like everybody that was on the floor was a major contributor. They just have too many ponies. You can't hold down everyone. And I thought it was a master class in something that we saw a lot of early in the season. We've seen it throughout the season, but I think it's dwindled because teams have figured out how to defend it. But there was one sequence. It was when the Cavs first took their first double-digit lead of the night. Donovan Mitchell decided he was going to penetrate, and he did, and everything collapsed. It was just a thing of beauty. If you're a coach, that's how you want to defend it because you don't want Donovan getting an easy bucket to the hole. But what was funny was as the defense got sucked into this black hole, there were 4 options on the wings, and Donovan just took his pick. He just kicked it out. I can't remember who took that particular one. It might have been Jerome. He kicked it out to somebody who was wide open, and that's just candy from a baby. And they took a cutaway immediately afterwards of the Milwaukee bench, and you could see the look on Doc's face was like, they keep stealing my lunch money. I am not equipped to stop it.
He wasn't even mad. He was dapping his players up coming to the bench, man.
But there's nothing you can do. As a coach, you never say this to your players, and I thought Antetokounmpo, who played hard, he eventually got that same resigned look on his face when the Cavs they got it down to 5 points, and within no time it was 14. And they just took a cutaway from Antetokounmpo, and he looked like someone just punched him in his face. He was just like,
we ain't got it.
There's not an answer for what they're doing. And that's where we are right now. This Cavs team they are a threat. And I think if, as a betting man, given those odds, the Cavs are a much better bet. One thing I did disagree with on the Russillo and Simmons conversation, and I love both those guys, worked with both those guys. The one thing I disagreed with them on was when they both were adamant, like, just because you've done it doesn't mean anything. I disagree with that. It gives you the mindset that you can do it.
True.
And Boston has that, and we do not.
And that does scare me.
And so
they're champions.
They completely discounted that. Like, that means nothing once the series starts.
No, it does.
No, they're wrong on that.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, Mike had a bunch of stats about the Cavs, and I got a stat for you. You know, the April 3rd, 2024, that's almost a year ago, right? April 3rd, 2024. You know what has happened since April 3rd, 2024?
What was that?
Cavs have become great.
The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Cleveland Browns have both lost 14 regular season games. Since April 3rd, 2024.
That's astonishing.
They both lost 14 regular season games.
Good work on that.
We're out of superlatives for the Cavs at this point.
We are.
I'm out. And I am the king of superlatives. Yep. And I got nothing left. This team. Now, until they do it in the playoffs, I can't call them historic.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, if they win 70 and lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not going to say the season's a waste because we've been able to, I think all too often we think if they don't win a championship, the season's a total waste. And I don't think of it that way because I think we've all had fun to varying levels watching this team play.
I take another step.
I enjoyed the hell
But
out of
if they don't beat, if they can't, and God forbid they don't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals, as unlikely as that seems. But, you know, I said last week that I don't know that there's any more the Cavs can do in the regular season to give us more confidence. But to win all these games in a row by so many points, by scoring so many, their offense just seems so unstoppable. And I know you got to play defense in the playoffs, and it's a different game. But, man, it just, the difference it seems between the Cavs and everybody else, except for maybe Boston, is that it almost doesn't matter who's on the floor.
That you just said.
Right?
I was just going to say the exact same thing, maybe in a different way. I don't care if it's a guy. Everybody's wearing a Cavs jersey. You could put just a random number on, a different face. They all play the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They all have the same superpower when they're wearing the Cavs uniform.
It's crazy.
No matter who's on the court at any given moment, they become great. And they all play great.
I kind of explain it as everybody got the green light. I see Sam Merrill come in, fire. I see Max Strus, I'll shoot. Dean Wade shoots. Ty Jerome thinks he's Steph Jerome when he put the jersey.
I've never seen a more unselfish team.
Mobley,
I've never seen a more unselfish team.
No, they all I got the green light and it's all good. And the thing about it is, they Big Nuggets, they look like they expected to do it.
And
like this is what it is.
To the point of the unselfishness, I was watching Donovan Mitchell after the game last night. Was on with Scott Van Pelt. Did anybody see this?
I missed it.
I turned off. By that point.
So Donovan, when Scott Van Pelt was like asking him about like him kind of taking a step back and all these bench guys and what they're doing, I don't mean to knock LeBron, but when LeBron was here, it was always my guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they're his guy.
Yeah.
And Donovan didn't use that type of language.
King in his court.
It's not like my guys. We're all the guys. And I can't remember the exact word he used. But it all starts with Donovan.
Yeah.
And his unselfishness as a superstar, it just permeates the whole team. Every player, the reason they all play so great, I think, is because of Donovan.
1,000%.
Because he has built the confidence.
He is the undisputed leader.
Yes, he and Kenny Atkinson clearly. JB's done a nice job. He did a nice job here. Did a nice job in Detroit. Donovan and JB were not on the same page.
No,
they were. Donovan and Kenny Atkinson are like this.
Did you know
they are together? And they are completely on the same page, and every player on this team is confident and thinks the team believes in me.
Did you
They empower each other.
Yes.
Everybody caught the press conference when he was talking to Van Pelt. I was super blown away by something small he did. They were mentioning people and guys that are playing great, and he said, you know what? I also have to give a lot of credit to George Niang and Karis LeVert for what they did, for what they put in. And I said, you know what?
Man, who would do that? No, not many guys would
solid,
think
right.
That's solid. That's some solid stuff.
Awareness.
He could just being like, they really put in to what we are today. And I thought that was just a brilliant, good guy move. It just shows you, like, he's just not talking that. He really means that because he didn't have to mention those guys.
Nobody would have done that.
And nobody. That was a super move for me. Man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Great
and
point.
by the way, Mike, I know Donovan Mitchell's not going to win the MVP, but based on the true definition of the word, I don't think there's a more valuable player in the league.
Yeah, I buy that just because of how much better he's made everyone. The MVP means this. Which player, if you take out of the mix, does the team suffer the biggest fall without?
It's Jokic, and it's not close.
I know you say it's Jokic. However, the reason I agree with Bull on this is because Donovan has unlocked, and I know he had some, he played with Evan for a couple of years. I also want to say that I think it's a formula of Atkinson and Mitchell. Mitchell has empowered everybody else to be the best they can be. He has clearly made all of his teammates exponentially better.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question, Mike. You've been to more of these press conferences. Excuse me. Have either Donovan or Kenny talked about a conversation that in my mind I imagine happened upon Kenny being named the coach, where Kenny sat down with Donovan and said, I'm going to use you less, but hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to use you less because I don't need to use you as much as they have been relying on you because I've got so many other Jedis out there. You don't have to be the only guy. And they talked about this last night, and I was glad they did on the telecast. But your efficiency is going to go way up. And that's what's happened. His minutes have gone down. His efficiency has gone up. In the meantime, we've unlocked this superpower from Evan Mobley, who they talked about last year. He had a 64-3 of the year last night. And they said last year, I think he had 22. Something along those lines. Mike, maybe those numbers are off a little. But in my mind, I thought they said that's a 64 3-point made this year, which is
by far the most of his career.
It's one a game. And last year, he was hitting one every 4 games.
Basically.
So, to me, I think that the conversation that happened, and I don't know, maybe you remember a time where Kenny or Donovan talked about it. It just seems to me like there was so much buy-in on Donovan's behalf. A lot of superstars would have said, no, you're not going to use me less. I want to be a bit me. Mm-hmm. Donovan was like, I trust you, coach. And it worked. Did that conversation happen?
I'm not sure if it happened in those exact terms, but Kenny said one of the first things he told Donovan when he came here was that, we have 10 guys I think that can play.
Yeah.
And when we have this much depth in the regular season, barring injuries, and the Cavs have been incredibly healthy this season, knock on wood that continues, they've been able to play 10, 11, 12 guys. And if we're going to play that many guys, your minutes are going to come down because we need you as fresh as possible for the playoffs. So that was one of the first conversations.
Okay, good.
They had. I'm not sure if the maximizing efficiency in fewer minutes is the result of, everyone on the Cavs team just shooting the lights out. I actually pulled up the numbers. Donovan's not having his most efficient season He's shooting lower from the field than he did the last 2 years in Cleveland.
His efficiency's up from last year, and this is just the eye test.
It's not, though.
What is his efficiency rate this year?
It's right on par, but it's...
Classic case of...
What were his numbers last year? What are they this year?
Last season, he shot 46.2% from the floor. This season, he's at 45%.
But what about his PER,
not his shooting percentages, his efficiency.
His PER?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I need 3 hands to type.
Because, again, we thought that Mobley was doing things after 20 games that the stats told us he wasn't. We're like,
yeah.
But it seems like he's way more aggressive underneath the basket. Now, I don't know what those numbers look like now, but to me, it feels like his efficiency is up from last year. I could be wrong. That's just my eye test.
According to Pro Basketball Reference, where is straight PER? I'm looking for not per game. Give me a sec. There's ads popping up. He's been awesome this year. And to your point on him stepping back, allowing other people to take over, he keeps using the word empowerment. It's his word of choice.
Yeah.
I'm empowering other guys to seize their opportunities.
Yeah.
And we talked about this at some point last week. When you feel empowered by your leader to take certain shots, and Evan Mobley's the perfect example. Donovan told Evan, if you don't take these shots, it makes my job harder.
Yeah.
Your job gets easier by being aggressive and attacking and forcing the defense to react to you. When your job's easier, it makes my job easier.
Yeah.
And it's been a symbiotic connection between Donovan and Darius, Donovan and Jarret, Donovan and Evan.
Sure.
We've seen it early on with Donovan and DeAndre, Donovan and Ty Jerome. They all play off each other. There's not a single combination where you look at Donovan with insert player X here and go, I don't like that pairing.
Right.
And I think you could talk about most superstars in the league. I'm not quite sure anyone outside of Jokic has a 0 in that column of, I don't love his pairing with another team.
But I think, though, like, the rest of the core four, like, if they want to win a championship, we're going to have to see them do it without Donovan telling them. Like, that's when you get to a point where Evan Mobley, you ain't got to tell me I need to be aggressive. Darius Garland.
Doesn't that take time, though?
I think that's happening.
That's happening in real time.
Yeah.
But, obviously this is the regular season.
Yeah, when a playoff series comes along and it's game 6 and it's a must-win and it's late and you're down, are you still going to have that same trust in self, or are you going to start looking to kick to Donovan?
Yeah. Right.
Jeff, I found your stat real quick.
Okay.
Once again, numbers lying to us, or numbers not matching the eye test.
Right.
He has a 21.2 PER this season. Last season, 22.1. His first season in Cleveland, 22.9.
Yeah,
so
God,
by the PER metrics, his least
It's it's very, very close.
It's
but
close,
I would have expected that he was more efficient.
I would agree.
The team's better, so and clearly
and he's fresher.
Yes, and he's fresher. He's not playing as much. I don't know if that factors into any of his.
How many fewer minutes is he averaging this year?
About 6, isn't he?
It feels like it.
Last season he played 35.3. This season at 31.3.
Okay,
so 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
So that's huge.
That's a lot.
He's averaging
huge.
2 less points. So in 4 minutes, 2 fewer points.
Yeah.
It's been an unbelievable season so far. What do we got? 18 games left.
Correct.
Yes.
16-2 to win 70.
And their magic number is 10?
For the 1 seed, or they already have a playoff. Playoffs.
No. I'm talking about
magic number for the one. They have an
8
8-game lead with 18 to go. So if they lost all 18, the Celtics would have to win 11.
You know what's crazy,
right?
Yeah, because the Cavs have the tiebreaker too.
Yeah. So that's the magic number.
It's nuts.
10 clinches
10,
the top.
yeah.
10.
You'll know if you feel like the Cavs are good or historic is when you say they're better than the 2016 Cavs. And that's the barometer.
And there's only one way they can do that, and that's to win the championship.
Yes.
Because we dubbed the Golden State Warriors all-time great.
Right.
You can't be all-time great, just like the Patriots when they were undefeated. You can't be the greatest team of all time. You didn't close the deal.
That's right.
So you weren't the greatest team that season. How in the hell can you be the greatest team of all time? So if they want to get into that conversation, they better keep going on this 70-win pace, and they better close the deal. The only way I'll ever compare this team to the 2016 NBA championship Cavs is on the day after they win a title. We can come in here and say, okay, now we can roll up our sleeves and we can say which team would have won.
Are you to the point now where you'd rather have this team go into the playoffs this year versus having LeBron Cavs team?
No, I'm not.
What was the start?
LeBron won one title in 2016, and it was an all-timer, and you had to come back from 3 games to 1 to win the title. That being said, you went to 4 straight finals with LeBron James. Would you feel more confident with any of those teams? Because you knew the regular season was whatever, and you were probably going to go to the finals no matter what. Then it was going to be a battle. Would you rather be one of those teams or this Cavs team?
There's a certain level of confidence you have when you have prime LeBron.
Exactly. That's my point.
And
It's
this team,
delusional.
as much as we love this team, they've proven nothing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. As much as and as great as they have been all year long, and like they've got a chance to win 70 games,
Right.
I'm still not
still a little
as
nervous
confident
about it.
in this group.
If that team at that age were in this NBA, they'd be overwhelming favorites. There's no Golden State Warriors. As good as the Thunder are, nobody's looking at the Thunder like we did the Golden State
Honestly,
Warriors.
to that point, Bull, I think the closest thing to the Golden State Warriors this year
Is the Cavs. Yes.
Yeah,
They-
sure.
when
kinda
you look at
wild.
their
They just wear a
depth,
different color jersey.
That's it. But when you
That's
look
kinda-
at their depth and how deep they can go, that was the Golden State Warriors.
The
Golden
ball
State Warriors
movement.
was-
I mean,
the
they
ball
play
movement,
just like the Warriors.
They really do. Well, they should.
Draymond Green said
mean-
after that first meeting back in, I guess it was November, this was the closest team we've ever had to
Yeah.
guard that reminded me of ourselves.
Yeah.
But that
And he
team
was
had
right.
already won
Yeah.
the championship.
Yeah.